Yeah, Pankaj, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
No, okay, okay. Sorry, we apologize about
No,
the
no, no, sir. No,
issues.
please don't. Please don't.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll
My
be there,
apology.
hopefully.
I am not there in person and creating problem for you people.
No problem. So abhi we are just setting it up. The person is here now. So hopefully it
Okay.
will be resolved. So then we will start with the flow that you have indicated, and that's how we will
Okay.
start. So
Perfect.
in the morning session, Sudeep ji was there, who is the additional secretary, energy, renewable energy. Prior to that, he was the deputy commissioner, election commission, and you had also advised them. So it worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in terms of minute to minute, Yogesh ji is here. He is the one who was
No,
talking to
I
you.
was just troubling you over the WhatsApp. Sorry
No,
for
sir.
all the
No,
trouble.
no, no. Most of the time, I am the one who is most, I would say, unresponsive.
No worries, no worries.
Yes, yes,
But we'll definitely love to have you in Nasik sometime, whenever is possible for you.
For
yes,
sure.
yes.
For sure.
So
This
in
will be
terms
an
of
honor.
minute to minute, Pankaj, that we will introduce you based on the notes that I got, and then we will get into the flow that you have indicated, and
Sure,
then
sir.
we'll open the floor. So it should be accordingly, and
That
then some on the same lines. But the audience has been quite excited about the session. They have come in from all around. So hopefully we will make a memorable session today. So
hope
just give us some
I'll give justice to their time.
yes, and
बिल्कुल 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 चलेगा.
ओके ओके यहाँ पे कमलेश जी सोसाइटी अभी थे अभी है वो मतलब
Hmm.
ही इज फ्रॉम इंदौर ओनली ही वाज मध्य प्रदेश छत्तीसगढ़ चेयरपर्सन ही वाज द नेशनल सेक्रेटरी और उनके जो
Okay.
बड़े ब्रदर थे वो सुभाष जी आई थिंक सोसाइटी जी ही वाज अ मिनिस्टर ट्वाइस कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर तो उनको भी ही विल बी हियर अभी मतलब आ ही रहे हैं वो
So first of all, thank you, sir, for inviting me. I am really honored and privileged that I am talking to all of you. And my apology that I could not attend in person. Um, uh, but I'm trying my best. And yeah, so before you go, we talk about AI. I think as you're asking that, why it is different from rest of the technology. There are two things. One is the pace at which it is happening. If you look at different technology or evolution that has happened in world and in humankind, they were impactful, but it was slow and gradual progress and adoption. For example, 100 million mark is a very critical number. If any technology or any habit or anything which hit 100 millions, then you know that this technology is for good and it is not going to go away. Uh, Mobile, for example, it took almost 7 years to reach 100 million. Internet took even 15 years. And in fact, WhatsApp took another, 3 to 5 years. But AI wave, when it came, it took only a month to reach 100 million. So uh, that is the pace is at which it is happening. That is a very dramatically different from any other previous innovation. So that is number one. Number two is this innovation by far is way bigger. It is, I would say, this is one of the big inflection point in the history of humankind. It's not in the history of technology, but it's in the history of humankind, because as you might be seeing, some of you are witnessing, some of you may witness very soon, the way world will operate, the way human will operate, it's changing almost on a daily basis. So that's that's the big difference. I mean, this is the first time I'm feeling that I am living in the world of 2050 or something like that. uh, and I will share some of those stories, and the idea of sharing those stories is to, I mean, this is very relevant question. Let me divide this impact broadly into I will say macro and then micro. uh, and I also want to address some of the myth around AI. The first thing is uh, the impact when you really look at the global level. uh, I think the dynamics of the world will change dramatically. The reason I'm saying that, if there are certain countries which will becoming way more powerful than ever before, and there are certain countries who are beneficiary of this, will grow along with them, and there are certain set of people who are far behind. So the world dynamics going to change dramatically. the way we evaluate the country power will dramatically change. Let me quote one example. Many people believe that AI may take up the jobs. That's the biggest. I would say that is the biggest threat everyone is thinking about. Uh, Now, if you really look at macro level, that is not going to happen. In fact, AI will create more jobs for people. Just that the job definition, the role and the scope will change. But then what will change? While maybe if let's say there are 100 jobs today, it will be 150 jobs in future. But that is not a problem. The problem is where these jobs will be, that will polarize quite a bit. So, most of these jobs might be created in certain sectors, certain geos, while other geos, those who will not be fast enough or those who will not adopt, they may lose jobs. So I think that the world dynamics is going to change dramatically. So it's not just every business, but every government has to very seriously look into this. And I'm glad our government is taking a lot of initiative in this direction. Now let's come to every sector. I think there are a lot of changes which is going to happen given that the way productivity is changing. Now let me just tell you the story. When I saw that demo in 2 months ago in Microsoft, as I said, I was feeling that I am living in the world of 2050. The story was this: we have just one prompt, one button, where someone come and said that I want to build 100-story building. And it's a prompt that is given to a software. What that prompt has done is it has first created an agent. This agent is just an AI-based agent like humankind. That agent has processed the prompt, and based on that, it has created 10 subordinate agents: one for finance, one for legal, one for construction, one for operation, one for procurement, and many other such things. Now, each of the agent has figured out what needs to be done to create a 100-story building, and they have started interacting with each other. And after a while, all of a sudden, I got a prompt that, oh, Pankaj Jain, there is a job assigned to you by an agent, and it's all artificial. None of them was physically exist. So human got a job, assigned a job by a agent, and then I interacted with them and I gave some permission and everything. So that, and then at the end of the day, I have a clear plan that what needs to be done. Invoice has been created, material has been procured. It's everything is done, and then hardly I have to interact with that software or two, three times. This was what we were envisioning as 100 year down the line, 50 year down the line. This is happening today. This is happening in a very close rooms, but very soon it will hit the market. So what I'm trying to say there, that artificial intelligence has reached a point where it is not automating the process, where it has almost started making decision like human. So that is a one big evolution which as we are witnessing today. So that sounds very interesting, very scary, and at the same time very exciting. It all depends how we want to leverage that. Now, if you go further, that how do we think about this and how do we adopt for our business? How do we ensure that our kids, our new generation, and our existing businesses leveraging this? It's not very difficult. And the way I summarize this entire thing, AI capability, is what I call catch framework, CATCH. It has five simple modules. It has a ability for creation. It has ability of augmentation, ability of translation, ability of comprehension, and ability of harmony. If all of us keep these five capabilities in mind and then apply for our business wherever it fits, it can benefit all of us. Now let's take the example of creation. Again, it's a big change, because initially whenever we think about automation or anything, we used to think that AI can do everything, but it can't replace human mind. It can't replace creativity. And this generative AI wave has dramatically changed that. Actually, we are way more better. AI is way more better in creativity than anything else. There are movies of 15 minutes to 30 minutes movies has been created without any human intervention today. That is the level of creativity we are talking about. AI today has ability to listen, to talk, to see, to capture, and to process. And based on that, and it can do the decision making process. So that's where the world is heading. Now let's take certain examples of, say, creation. It's a Today you can describe what you want to do. For example, let's say you are running a jewelry business. You can just go and give the prompt that, can you create a marketing moment for us, let's say in Rajasthan, with the Indian tradition, for this kind of diamonds and this kind of jewelry, and in just few seconds you will have a nice social media post which you can use for your for business promotion. So before I talk more, I mean, anything you want to ask more here before we can take any the use cases of different industry segment.
Since we are on real estate as a sector, now there are various leaders in the delegates here who might think or who would think that this is very exciting. What Pankaj has said is that artificial intelligence can be leveraged to explore next frontiers of growth for our respective businesses. Now, let's say they go back, these leaders go back with that decision in mind and want to really do as a case study, as an example, as a use case that you have indicated. In that case, how should they get started? Now, they may not know, our leaders here, they would go back, they would just know that I want to use AI. I know it can be done, but what are the nitty-gritties? What are the steps they should take? Should they work with a startup, or how should they go about executing these ideas that you have just devised? Yes.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's again a very important question, and I have a lot of suggestion on that. So first thing I said, there is a catch framework, the creation, augmentation, translation, comprehension, and harmony. The second framework that I have for any small business owners, and right now I am almost advising 5 to 6 businesses just on the AI front, and love to talk about those case study. But the another framework that I really want you to say, leave with you so that, in a simplified way, so that you remember and do something about it, is all called gains from AI. So when I say gains, G is stand for, gauging the problem. No one other than you knows better than, know better. You are the best person who knows your business. When I'm saying gauge your problem, every business is different. Even if it is from the same sector, you might have a very different set of problems. For example, people who are working in tier 2 or tier 3, tier 4 cities, talent acquisition is a huge problem. While people who are living in or doing business in tier 1 cities, financial capital and operation is quite difficult. So based on that, you have to gauge the problem first. Don't just go blindly say that, oh, you know what, in real estate this is what people are doing, I'll just go and adopt it. It's not going to help. The first thing that you have to do is gauge the problem. Where is the problem? What is the bottleneck? And I'm almost telling you that for every problem, there is somebody who's ready to solve that problem, because a lot of thinking has already been done. So the first thing is gauge the problem. The second thing is adopt AI. Do not run away. Do not think that, oh, this is a tsunami that will go away. It is there permanently, and AI will never replace human. But people who are using AI will replace people who are not using AI. Business who are using AI will replace business who are not using AI. So the second thing is keep your mindset with the adoption. And when I'm saying adoption, you really have to you have to think about where to invest. So first is gauge the problem. Second is have keep your mindset for adoption of AI. And then the third and most important thing is instruct your employees, instruct yourself, the other business people, partners, that they have to learn all about the AI even if it is basics, but you have to start investing time in learning about it. It's not a rocket science, because there is rocket science behind the tech, but for you to using all those tools, for example, Chat GPT or Copilot, they are pretty easy to use. They have now that all the natural language processing, it's not difficult to use. The fourth thing I would suggest is navigate. Here, please do not invest, hefty amount of money on this problem. Start taking baby steps. Solve one at a time. If somebody is coming and suggesting you that, oh, you know what, here is a very expensive tool, or you just go and do, any big ticket item, I don't think that's a right approach. There are a lot of things which are available for free. There are a lot of things which can be done at a very bare minimum cost. Please do not invest very heavily on AI, because so much can be done is whatever is available at a bare minimum price. But connect the solution with the problem that you have identified. Run a pilot for a month, because you have to keep iterating, and that's the last thing which I am calling as supervision. You have to see how AI going to customize for myself. There's a lot of learning involved. There's a lot of learning of AI involved. There's a lot of learning on your side which will be involved, and that's how this gains framework will be helpful. If you allow me, sir, I can just take one example. One of the company that I am advising for last 4 or 5 months, and they are seeing some dramatical impact. So there is a company which is a education tech platform, and they were providing a online test platform for all the competitive exam recently. And then one of the challenge that they had was that it was hard to retain good teachers. It was hard to create right set of content. So for example, if somebody is giving a SAT exam or GMAT or GRE exam, how do we create a quality questions? And they were hiring teachers from metro cities, from big schools and everyone, and they had a huge retention problem. And at the same time, they always had a problem of verifying the content, because if it is an unseen passage written in English, it's very hard for that business person to figure out whether this is a high quality or not. Post AI, post AI, they have almost replaced those teachers, those who were kind of creating that. Rather, they are using the same set of teacher for verifying the content which is created by AI. So as I'm saying, the teacher were not replaced, but the process has changed. That is what I'm calling that there is a possibility of creation, and that's how creation module has been used. They are not just doing that, they have now also integrated that how students are responding. They have a very clear, they have a set of answers which they believe, is right answer provided by the AI. And once a student provide the answer, they were able to compare and provide marks almost in a real time. And when we did the analysis, if the same thing would have been tested by the or corrected by the teacher, the accuracy is almost 95%. Now with that, it's a they are just doing really well. They were able to reduce cost of all the money that they are paying to teachers. Their quality has dramatically improved, and the students are getting feedback in the real time. So this is one of the example from the education industry. If you have any specific industry in mind, I love to take more examples, because there are tons of examples. I just want to ensure that audience is able to connect, and maybe whatever is relevant for them, we do double click on those industry.
Yeah, so sure. Pankaj, we would come back to questions related to jewelry industry and then finance. So that would come in the subsequent few minutes. But before that, so just to make sure that everybody is on the same page as you have indicated or articulated. So let's say the members decide that they like what you have said, that artificial intelligence is a game changer and it is here for good. Then they first go back to their respective businesses, identify what problem is to be solved. Then after that, they follow the steps you have indicated. And after that, you have also referred to one of the flagship products of Microsoft, which is Copilot. And incidentally, in the interest of our delegates, I am very happy to say that Pankaj himself is the head of, or not the head, but he's playing a critical role in Microsoft artificial intelligence product named as Copilot. So Pankaj, operationally speaking, for our, in the interest of our members, irrespective of which industry they are from or which sector they represent, if they want to use off-the-shelf product, readily available product, instead of investing in people and investing in buying those products, if they want to use Microsoft products, which where artificial intelligence is embedded, how can they start with that process? What should they do, and what are the steps they can take?
Yeah, sure. So it's very simple step. If you are using Microsoft subscription, which we call, there is a maybe if those who are not aware, if you talk to your IT person or whoever has provided you Office license, they have either business license, typically small business license, or sometime medium business license, which we call B1, B2, B3. So most likely in your business, if your company size is less than 500, you might be owning one of that. All you need to do is you have to add another subscription of Copilot, which is only $10 per month per user. At that cost, you should be able to bring all the power of Copilot. It is as simple as just going and buying that subscription. The moment you do, it will enable everywhere. Now let me also tell you some of the capabilities that it can do, and you will be surprised that 50% of your problem will be solved with that. First thing it can do is, imagine that, let's say you are a lawyer, in a legal, working for a legal firm or owning any legal firm. It is so hard to look at every word, and I think that's very important for your business. It will just help you comprehend what is written there. And if you say that it's a legal document, it will automatically highlight certain area, certain paragraph that you may go and read, where it can see the discrepancy. It will also help you in figuring out that, is there any relevant case very similar to this one, which has been done in the past. So first thing, it will provide you ability to comprehend. Similarly, let's say you have a contract that you want, all you need is a summary of that. That is another thing that you can do. If you take another thing, which is about, let's say you are doing a business and you are always have to do digital marketing for your business, the PowerPoint will come very handy. And there are many other tools like Designer, which will come very handy for you. And this is all comes for free with that subscription once you pay that $10 fees. What it can do for you is what I just described, that you provide a text and say that just create a video out of this text. It will create a story for you. It will convert into video. It will add all the it will create in any other language. If you want to do the translation, that is also possible. The third, the third thing, which I personally got benefited a lot, coming from a very Hindi medium background. While I was able to crack IIM, but still I feel that my mother tongue is Hindi. I think in Hindi, I translate, and then I start saying in English, which I am also doing right now. And many of you might be in the situation. How do I look very professional when I'm communicating with my client, with I communicating with my partners and other people? You won't believe, you give a random thoughts even by dictating, even in Hindi or Gujarati or any language or Marathi. We are sitting in Nasik. It will just create beautiful crafted email for you, or any in any language. And I am using almost 10 times a day before I send out any email to my, let's say I'm sending it to all my team's member or my boss or my client or customer. I think it is just mind blowing. The reason I'm saying that, because there is no language bar. You don't need to be, you don't have to spend hours to create a message which is interpreted the way you want to be. and still give a very professional look. So these are all things are helping. The last thing which Copilot provides, or you may find it very interesting, is it is almost like your assistant. Imagine that you are in a meeting negotiating with your client. If there is something called assistance, uh, and that assistance in Teams will keep listening to your conversation. It will also look at all the chat that you are doing, and in runtime it will tell you that, hey, you know what, you may want to respond to this person in a certain way. आप इसको ऐसे नहीं, आप ऐसे बोलिए, so that आपका negotiation better होगा. So that's the power, all these things, Copilot can provide. So it will solve your creation problem. It will help you look very professional. It will help you doing a lot of negotiation on behalf of you. And of course, keeping all the track record. Suppose you have a meeting with your employees, and after every meeting we have hundreds of tasks that we may want to assign to each other. How many times we do it, how many times we take meeting notes, how many times we know how we make this meeting effective. It's all being done by software now for you.
Are the event that we are calling it as Future X. और आपने अभी जो बताया, so it looks like Microsoft product of Copilot. Just since you are unable to see the audience, we have a full house here, around 500 people. And when you talked about the last part of Copilot, in summarizing, there was a huge applaud for you and for the product. So we just wanted you to know. Now, there are also some investors, Pankaj, in the audience. There are some investors who invest into companies, into stocks. There are some who invest into startups. And there are some business people who say कि पंकज जी के बोलने से हमको ये समझ गया कि यहाँ पैसा बनने वाला है. तो if we, they also know that you are heading a $20 billion revenue business for Microsoft, managing over 3,000 people, and are in the key role in the artificial intelligence. So if we request you to hold a crystal ball for our members, that how is the future going to unfold? मतलब अगले 5 सालों में आप क्या देखते हो कि इतने सारे बदलाव आ रहे हैं, तो अगर किसको इन्वेस्ट करना है स्टॉक्स में या रियल एस्टेट में या स्टार्टअप्स में, या अगर कोई इसके ऊपर स्पिल ओवर इफेक्ट से अगर पैसा बनाना चाहता है, तो what are your pearls of advice or your insights about how it is, which kind of industries would emerge and which may become obsolete, and where should they put in their money looking at a 5-year time horizon?
No, sir, great. And I will say, please take my answer as a pinch of salt. When money is involved, बनिए लोगों को careful रहना चाहिए. So my first advice कि whatever I'm saying, I don't know how true that will be. So the first thing, even sir, 5 years तो बहुत आगे है. 3 years down the line, 2 years down the line is where we can see, and still you will find is dramatically different. So when it comes to investment right now, AI is still not settled. We do not know, how user will start using it. Everybody right now is coming, and some early adopters are there. Definitely, they are paying money and using it, but still people are experimenting with this. So I would say, अगर आपको अपना पैसा लगाना है तो 4 लेयर में सोचिए उसके लिए. The first layer is about company who are providing hardware. Very few companies can provide that hardware. That's why अगर आप Nvidia का stock देखेंगे, तो it is the most where we are seeing the maximum growth, because एक होता है CPU जो हर कंप्यूटर में होता है, और एक होता है GPU जिसके लिए जो AI के लिए चाहिए, and Nvidia was the only company which was able to provide that. So अगर आप एक large enterprise में if you are thinking about investing, I would suggest hardware. Any company who is investing in hardware should be considered. I'm not saying invest. There are a lot of other parameters that you have to think, but you definitely want to consider that. Hardware के ऊपर then there is a second layer which is we call cloud, जहां पर जिसे हम बोल रहे हैं लार्ज लैंग्वेज मॉडल, जहां पर आप ये सोचिए कि ब्रेन ऑफ एआई, वेयर द ब्रेन ऑफ एआई, यू नीड अ प्लेस वेयर इट विल सिट, दैट इज कॉल्ड क्लाउड. Any company like Azure is one of them, Microsoft Azure, Google is another company, Amazon is trying to get there, Oracle is trying to get there. But any company who is going to provide this, there is another place where you may want to consider, and that's why Microsoft is growing more because of Azure, less because of Office. Same is true for Google and other companies. ये second layer है. थर्ड लेयर है वो कंपनीज जो एलएलएम खुद बना रही हैं. Unfortunately, while these are the people who brought the changes, but the chances that these people will make money is least. It is एक एग्जाम्पल है कि जब रेफ्रिजरेटर आया तो सबसे ज्यादा फायदा किसको हुआ, ये वही स्टोरी है. रेफ्रिजरेटर आने से मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट हैपन टू कोक एंड पेप्सी बिकॉज दे वर एबल टू सेल देयर प्रोडक्ट which was required to be in a refrigerator. I don't remember any refrigerated company making a lot of money. We don't even remember. They are not even in top 1,000. Exactly same thing will happen for AI. Companies who are building just large language model, they will come, they will establish, and there's nothing much for them. So you may want to be extremely careful when you are doing that. वहां पर एक स्कोप जरूर है. ऐसी कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो एक स्पेशलाइज्ड एरिया में, जिसको स्मॉल लैंग्वेज मॉडल बोला जा रहा है, if they are investing, if they are doing something that can be evaluated. Now the last thing which most of us might be interested in, then what about the applications? I think अभी ये सेटल हुआ नहीं है. There is a lot of, for example, another story is जब दुनिया में इंटरनेट आया तो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट को लगा कि वी वन द बैटल बिकॉज वी ओन इंटरनेट एक्सप्लोरर एंड वी थॉट दैट ओके वी आर द किंग, बट वी लॉस्ट दैट मार्केट बिकॉज वैल्यू इंटरनेट एक्सप्लोरर में नहीं थी, वैल्यू सर्च में थी. अगर उस समय किसी ने माइक्रोसॉफ्ट में इंटरनेट एक्सप्लोरर देख के पैसा लगाया था, ही वुड हैव लॉस्ट दैट मनी. क्योंकि वैल्यू, हाउ अल्टीमेटली यूजर विल यूज, हाउ अल्टीमेटली यूजर विल लुक एट दैट, it is still not settled. So I would say go with a very caution approach. But I'll tell you 4 or 5 industry which will be game changer. One is 100% healthcare. Whatever was not possible before is now going to happen. If you are seeing companies who are doing personalization, that is I think that healthcare is definitely one area. If companies are using AI in that, I think it's a great area to look at. The second thing is all about uh, all this legal contract is another place. The third one, I would say, a lot of things will going to happen in manufacturing space, where, as I said, the harmony is the last part of AI, where all these sensors will start talking about. We already have the concept of digital twins, where I can almost 100% give you that when will your device need maintenance, how much production you can make. I can look at your inventory and I can tell you and previous record, and I can almost predict that what will be the price going forward for this particular raw material. All this prediction are possible. So any company who are building these solutions are all great solutions because these are big market, everyone is looking for it, and very solvable problem even with current capabilities. So that's my framework, that large enterprise look for hardware companies, look for companies who are providing cloud support, less on anyone who is building the model. And then for application, you have to look each of that and look at the sector at which they are providing the solution. Not each sector is lucrative. Finance, for example, I don't think we have made tremendous progress there. We have yet to see uh, the real power of AI. Even if it is there, it is the most expensive calculator in the world. Just to give you example, with current cost that we have, if I have to do 2 into 2 in using AI, it is almost costing me $100. That is the expense we are talking about. So while finance looks very interesting, but I don't think AI the cost of AI has reached to that point where it is feasible at lower price. So that's my summary. And again, I'm repeating, these are my 2 cents. We have to look every segment, every solution very, very carefully.
One last question, Pankajji. Now, based on what you have said, it looks like by using artificial intelligence, the productivity is going to go up because the products has co-pilot and others. If the productivity goes up, people would have more time. That means in the remaining time, probably they would want more entertainment, travel, tourism, and various other things. I'm just giving just two points and then your concluding remarks on this. The second is, if the companies are adopting artificial intelligence, they would need less number of people. Also, the productivity would go up. That means more profits. That means more investable money. So, given these twins, from the point of view of delegates, what could be the industries which would get tailwind or where there could be impetus for growth? Which segments do you see where they would benefit because of these unrelated phenomena? And that's the last question, then we will conclude. Sorry.
So, sir, let me tell you this. हर कंपनी को AI कंपनी बनना ही पड़ेगा. There's no choice. It's guaranteed. It's written. None of the sector will left behind. It's given. Sector which are impacting most, jobs which are really under severe threats are content creation, the negotiations, customer service, services. Uh, these are all, any assistance kind of thing, all the mundane job. These are on a big risk. But where we will get maximum benefit is, as I said, there are few areas like healthcare, manufacturing, education. These areas, these are always the fundamental areas for human being, and this will continue to be. And these areas will really get benefit out of it. The entire, imagine a time, and I am, I just want to emphasize one more point, as maybe I'll just correct your summary. दुनिया में जितनी प्रॉब्लम है, the number of human beings are less to solve that problem. Even today, even though India is producing maximum software engineers, but number of software engineers required to solve every problem, we are still don't have sufficient engineers in the market. So this is a myth. I would say, I don't think jobs will go away. Same set of people will be able to produce lot more, and then we will expand our horizon. Whatever problem we thought can never be solved will be solved today. So I think that's one. The second one is all about the other area, the new jobs that going to happen in the world is, think about all the data centers, think about security. I have not touched, I'm sure जो audience वहां बैठी है उसमें से 50% audience के जो new next generation है, they might be in IT, they might be in technology. So my advice to them is, security for example itself is going to be huge area. Responsible AI is a field in itself. How do you ensure that you are taking my voice and not creating some awkward content out of it? These are all responsible AI. This is all security, privacy. So all these areas will evolve. In terms of sector, as you asked, sir, I think the biggest impact that we are going to happen, all the mass industries where education, health, agriculture, government, these are these sectors will benefit a lot क्योंकि यहाँ पर many problems are still unsolved, and AI will come and go and change the game for that.
Thank you, Pankaj ji. आपको there is a round of applause which is coming in from our audience. So we thank you. आप इतने बड़े पोजीशन पर होते हुए भी इतने हम्बल हैं हमारे लिए. आपको हमने आधा घंटा वेट कराया. We apologize for that. Also, फाइनल वर्ड इज ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ नासिक चैप्टर. आपके लिए स्टैंडिंग इनविटेशन है, आप जरूर इन पर्सन आइएगा. वी वुड वांट टू हैव मोर सेशंस लाइक दैट. और यू हैव डन जस्टिस टू आवर थीम ऑफ फ्यूचर एक्स. ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ रेस्ट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र जोन ऑल्सो we want to thank you for your time and wish you the very best. We will get to see you on many more headlines, Pankaj. Thank you very much.
No, sir, thank you so much. And for all of you, if you need any more suggestion, please ping me on my LinkedIn profile. I look at that on almost on a daily basis. And if I can be useful to any one of you, that will be more, that will be my pleasure. And thank you so much for inviting me on this. And best of luck for your rest of the event.
Thank you, Pankaj. Have a good day.
Thank you.